Hi, Neil Peterson here with LED Lighting Supply, a continuation of our podcast series. Today I have Karen Nettleton of Pickleball Kingdom, a very large and successful pickleball franchise around the U.S. And Karen, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think we've worked for about 2 years now, and I think you guys have really grown in that time. How many locations are you up to now?
We have 35 open now, 33 in the States, 2 in India. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
hmm
You
Pretty
have
rapid
plans,
growth. Yeah.
You have plans to expand more international, or is U.S.?
Yeah. We have high hopes for international. So India is our first international, but we're actually talking to, a handful, 3 or 4 other countries to develop.
Sure.
So yeah.
Where are you guys headquartered?
We're headquartered in Gilbert, Arizona,
Oh,
which is in the
okay, nice.
Phoenix market, general Phoenix area.
So what do you find what's your average size of a facility that you guys are creating? How many pickleball courts?
A great question. So average is a tough one to narrow down, but if I calculate the average square footage, it's around that 38,000 square feet, but anywhere from the low 20s to 60,000. We have all over the board.
And what have the challenges been for you in selecting the right location? I mean, has it been height, windows?
Windows, we can black out the window, so that's not really a challenge. The height is a big issue, enough parking, high rent or avoiding the high rent is a bigger concern.
Yeah, because I think when we've looked at sites with you and with the lighting plans we've done, that height level, the lower it gets, sometimes it's harder to get the perfect uniform light.
Exactly. That's the biggest challenge. So we like, ultimately the sweet spot is anything above 20 feet, but we have a few locations in that 18-foot range and it's still doable.
Right.
Yeah. A little more challenging for you to get the lighting right.
Well, we do our best. I mean, again, I think as we've always spoken, uniformity is king. I mean, and I think we had a site where you had a problem where the light was high, but so other parts were. So the uniformity was awful. And really, how do you then, create an environment where the light can be as uniform as possible? Because
Exactly.
So, yeah. So again, we work together. I think we do a lot of lighting plans with you to help your locations get the lights correctly. What have you found to be the key points of our relationship that have helped you guys be successful?
Well, the way that we started the relationship, it predates me. So I came along in August of 24, so almost 2 years. So you were part of our partnership sponsorship team already at that point. And what we were doing is trying our best to put the lights where we felt they should be. And I remember I went to one of our sites and then I called your team afterward and I said, something's not right. What are we not doing right? And finally I had this epiphany and I said, why don't we let you tell us what to do with the lights and where to put them and how high to have them and how close to have them. So we were trying with our design architects the best that we could, yet we don't have your subject matter expertise. And finally, between working with Mike Chiffon and it just said, can we just have you tell us where to put them? So we had our guardrails, we don't want them here. We don't want them there. We do want them within these confines. So we gave you some guardrails and then everything since then was like wonderful. It was a piece of cake.
And I think you made a change did you go to all blue walls I know you made a change in your locations. What was that?
Yes. So originally our layout was the bottom half is blue and the top is white. So we get a lot more reflection off the white, not in a negative way, but, good illumination off of the white. So we recently, let's say 6 months ago, we changed to now all blue walls. We have 2 different shades of blue. So we had to, rethink our lighting with you guys.
And I think we found that as long as the paint's the right paint type, it doesn't really impact the reflection. So it really wasn't a negative impact.
No.
And when I look at courts, actually having the black walls, it makes you focus on the court more. Whereas with the white walls, your eyes always went to the white wall. It's just the nature of the human being.
Yeah. And I know in some circuits, they like the black walls. For us, we like it to be more illuminated, the brighter look and the fresh and inviting. It's to each their own, but that is our preference. And then we don't find that having changed to blue walls has negatively impacted that bright, fresh feeling inside.
I do know that through the relationship, we did move to lights primarily on the sides of the courts and not over the court in any way. And I think that's just improved the player experience, which this is really all about.
Yeah, it probably created more challenges to get the right foot candles because it's not right over the playing surface, but then you don't have the blinding glare going up. And that was more important, is to appease the players, and in this process learning about not wanting to have too big of a variance of foot candles within the court itself.
Right. Because it's
That's
all
the
about uniformity. I mean, I
exactly.
think anything below 1.5 or 1.6 min max probably is too much for a court. And we found that. We've also found that you usually have what do you call the courts where all the top players play in one
The
of your
king court.
venues? The
The king
king
court.
court. And we
Uh-huh.
find you usually want that 10 to 15% higher light than everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh.
and I know we've tried to do that.
Yeah, and successfully. You've been helping us guide us along the way, and it's been very successful.
Right, right. Well, I know we're really excited about the relationship, and we really appreciate your team's support. And we still run into some. Oh, we like the lights here. We'll initially do the plan that way, but then we'll also provide an alternative to the standard, just because when the customer says they want something, you got to show it to them, but then you got to tell them, I don't think you're going to like it.
Exactly. Exactly. No, we appreciate your flexibility with your whole team that you entertain our questions and comments and inquiries. And sometimes it is because it's based on the franchisee driving the ask. We, like you said, kind of have to prove to them that that's not the best solution. So if I didn't have your ball in my court, so to speak, no pun intended, but if we didn't have you as a partnership to help us along the way, I would have to stand a lot more accountability with the franchisees saying, why isn't my lighting correct? And I don't have your area of expertise by any stretch. As much as I've learned from you in the last 2 years, there's no way I can replicate your knowledge. So
Yeah, and I found your sites are mainly refurbished facilities in most cases that I found. You're rarely making new, really high ceilings, because I think if we find one where you have that room above, there's nothing distracting. We may also work with you to look at uplight, but I don't think I've seen any of your lighting plans that would support that, because that's just a different layer, class of light that. You, but I think the light I do now kind of look at your plans before you get them as just a check and balance, because they come back. But I'm mostly concerned about the corners, how close the fixtures are to the side, how close they're to the walls. I think we had a site where you had to do some domes in order to because you were getting that big white spot on the side of the
big
wall.
hot spot on the wall. Yeah, but that flexibility with that dome or the lens to soften that's amazing. And I'm okay that some lights have the domes and some don't, because in the end of the day, no one's criticizing what's going on up there. They're looking at what's going on at 3 feet above the ground.
Absolutely, looking at the floor. Like, just again, I want to thank you for the support and the confidence you've given to us, and you can count on us continuing to support you. And we hope for the best success for you and your company.
Oh, much obliged. I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate your support and partnership. It's been invaluable to me. So thank you.
Neil Peterson here with Karen with Pickleball Kingdom. We want to thank you all for watching our short video. And if you have an application like pickleball or even any other type of indoor sport, all the same parameters and requirements do fit. So our team is ready here to help you and be a satisfied customer like Karen. So thank you, Karen, and
Thank you.
have yourself a great day.
You too, Neil.